The McDonnell F-101 Voodoo was a supersonic military jet fighter which served the United States Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force. Produced by McDonnell Aircraft Company, the F-101 was the first U.S. Air Force fighter capable of over 1,000 miles per hour in level flight. In 1946, McDonnell began design work on an aircraft prototype designated the XF-88. The XF-88 first flew at Muroc Dry Lake Air Base, California, on October 20, 1948. In 1952, McDonnell received a developmental contract for the XF-88, now designated the F-101 Voodoo. An initial order for 29 single-seat F-101As was placed on May 28, 1953. The maiden flight of the F-101A was on September 29, 1954. By late November of 1957, the last of 77 F-101As had been delivered to the Air Force. F-101Bs became operational on January 5, 1959. Beginning in 1959, McDonnell undertook a modification in which a number of F-101Bs would be fitted with dual controls. These aircraft were later designated the F-101F. F-101Bs and Fs began to be phased out of Air Force service in 1969 and transferred to Air National Guard units. In 1981, the last Guard unit retired the F-101. The F-101F that is displayed at the MAPS Air Museum was manufactured with construction number 520 as an F-101B by McDonnell Aircraft, St. Louis, Missouri. It was delivered to the United States Air Force on August 20, 1959, with serial number 57-0342. While on active duty, the F-101 was assigned to Air Defense Command units in New York, South Carolina, and Florida. In 1961, it was converted to an F-101F. In 1971, 57-0342 was assigned to an Air National Guard unit in Texas. In July of 1982, it was moved to the aircraft graveyard in Arizona, and in May of 1985, it was dropped from the inventory by transfer to museum status. In June of 1988, the airframe was shipped to the Florida Military Aviation Museum in Clearwater, Florida. When the museum closed in 1992, 57-0342 was disassembled and placed in outside storage near Winter Haven, Florida. In the fall of 2004, a team of MAPS volunteers traveled to Winter Haven to prepare the Voodoo along with 2 other aircraft for shipment back to MAPS. Disassembly started on November 12th, with arrival at MAPS on November 16, 2004. This restoration project was completed in May of 2015 with installation of the 2 afterburner nozzles to the aircraft. In November of 2019, the aircraft was repainted. The aircraft on display at MAPS is McDonnell F-101F Voodoo with serial number 57-0342. It has been painted and marked to depict F-101B serial number 57-0276 to honor those that served with the 87th Fighter Interceptor Squadron while that unit was stationed at Lockbourne Air Force Base, now Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base, Ohio, from 1960 to 1968. This aircraft is on loan from the National Museum of the United States Air Force, located at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio.